All right, this video covers section 3.3 and it talks about grouped data. So grouped data is data that's already summarized. So when you just have a list of all of the data that was found, that's called raw data. Group data is when it's already summarized on a chart or a frequency diagram because you don't see necessarily all of the individual points. To find the mean of the raw data, you have to find the sum of the midpoint times the frequency and then divided by the frequency total. So Fi just means the frequency of that class. Xi means the midpoint of that class. You multiply them together. If you need a refresher on midpoint, see section 2.3. But what you really do is you add the two lower class limits together and then divide by 2. So I would get 19 divided by 2, which is 9.5. And we did this table in section 2.2. So if we go all the way down, it keeps going up by 0.5. So if we did all of that adding and dividing, we would end up with these as our midpoints. Now, to find that XFIF that we need here, you multiply that midpoint by the frequency. So 8.5 times 2 is 17. 9.5 times 2 is 19. 10.5 times 4 is 42, and so on. So you can fill these out on your own. You can pause the video. It's up to you how you want to do this. But I'm just going to fill in the rest by multiplying that midpoint by the frequency. Now this mean isn't exact because not all of the data values are that midpoint, but it gives you an idea. So for grouped data, you can still do some predicting. It's just not as accurate as if you have the raw data. Now this sigma here, this big E, means add them all up. So if I add up all those orange numbers, we have 524. And then the E of the Fi down there means add up the frequencies. So if we added all of these things up, we would have 40. And now to find the mean, we divide those two numbers. So 524 divided by 40 gives us 13.1. So whatever that listed data is, we would use our mean as 13.1 when we go forward. Now, that's a lot of work when you have a lot of data. So I'm going to show you how the calculator will do it. Go to your stat. So you hit the stat button and then you hit edit. And you're going to arrow up if you need to clear it out. But what we're going to do is we're going to put the midpoint in L1 and we're going to put the frequency in L2. So 8.5, 9.5, and so on. And then we put the frequency in L2. So that's going to be 2, 2, 4, 1. All right. Now, before we found the mean by doing stat, calc, and then choosing the one variable stats. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to hit the stat button, arrow over to calc, choose one variable stats. But this time, our frequency list, we're going to put in L2. We're going to say, hey, L2 shows us the frequencies. So to do that, you hit the second button and then 2. And that'll type L2 for you. Then you hit enter and it'll give you that mean of 13.1 right there on the top. So your calculator will find a weighted mean for you. As long as you have numbers to put in. You can't do it if you have letters or words. So a weighted mean gives different values to certain categories, to different data points before it finds the mean. So one example of that is your grade, like GPA. Calculating mean. Okay, so in high school classes, different things are weighted differently. Like honors classes, you might get like a little bump from a weight. In college, it's based on the number of hours or credits in a class. So you can use the weighted idea to figure that out. So let's look. Marissa just completed her first semester in college. She earned an A in her 4-hour statistics class. So she has stats. She got an A. That's 4 credits or 4 hours. So this is going to be our grade. It's going to be credit. All right. Then she got a B in her 3-hour sociology class. So that was a B in 3 credits. An A in her 3-hour psychology class. So that was an A and it was 3 hours. A C in her 5-hour computer programming. So that was a C and that was 5 hours. And then an A in her 1-hour drama class. So that was 1 hour. Find her GPA. So first we need to convert those letter grades into numbers. So on the college scale, an A is a 4.0. A B is a 3.0, a C is a 2.0. So those are the numbers that would go there. Then we're going to multiply. So 4 times 4 is 16, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 3 is 12, 2 times 5 is 10, and 4 times 1 is 5. Add up the credits, and we get 16 credits. And then we add up those score points after we multiplied, and we get 51. Now we divide these two just like we did before. So 51 divided by 16 is a 3.19. So that would be her GPA. Even though she got 3 A's, one of them was in a 1-credit course and that C pulled it down. But multiplying by those credits is how you do the weighting. So those are 2 different examples when you might use a weighted mean. So that is section 3.3. Let me know if you have any questions.